Hello everyone. Let's welcome to another English section. Today we're going to carry out the section from unit number 6 from our textbook. This is the unit number 6. The title of activity is What do you need to travel? And this activity we're going to learn about the different activities we can do, for our holidays. So how we can interact with people doing different fun activities. And also, as you can notice from this picture, we have that going to be the vocabulary. We have a passport, we have our airplane, we have trade, we have money, we have some of the activities that you can do outside, outdoors, and basically that's going to be the topic, the number 6. And the main topic is the use of the present perfect. And this is basically the topic that we're going to carry out with this first term. And I want to just explain a little bit about the difference between the present perfect and the past simple. In our last classes, we were doing an activity about past simple and past progressive. So now we're going to move on to another topic that is the present perfect that we're going to connect it to talk about travel. And as you can see here, we have a um, comparative between comparison between present perfect past simple. And in the first part, we have the structure have, has, in the third form. We have when something happened is not important. And then we have when something happened is important. We have I have seen the Eiffel Tower. There is not important when, but here I saw the Eiffel Tower in 2007. Is important when. And these sentences we don't have the connection with now to now, but here we don't have any connection to now. And we also use the present perfect for unfinished time periods. And this one we use it to talk about finished time periods. So for example, I have eaten 10 pizzas this week. In this case, it's unfinished. Probably I'm gonna eat more. And in this sentence we have I ate 50 pizzas last week. And we can infer from this sentence that I eat. The week already finished and I eat 50 pizzas. So I won't eat more. And another that we use the present perfect is to talk about for achievements, accomplishment, experiences. We have a writing 2 books and run 6 marathons, but I have never climbed a mountain. In this case, I have written 2 books about achievements, accomplishments, logros, experiencias. We use to talk about achievements, accomplishments, logros, experiencias to talk about present perfect. And when we want to talk about our past, we use the past simple. I was born in England and grew up in Germany. I played the piano for 10 years, but I hate it. So I'm not going to go. I'm not going to explain the use of the present perfect much in this case. I'm gonna do it the next week. I'm gonna go deeper in this topic because we're going to carry out almost 6 pages. No voy a explicar mucho el presente perfecto, el pasado simple, pero dejo aquí el ejercicio para que lo revisen, puesto que voy a hacer la explicación de este uso del presente perfecto del pasado simple la próxima semana. Okay, so now we're going to continue with our video lecture. In this video lecture, we're going to carry out pages 84, 85, 86, 87, 80, 80, 89. So I want you to please open your book on page 84 because this is going to be the topic, the page we're going to carry out. You can see here we have Again, the vocabulary for the unit that is basically about the vocabulary for vacations, vocabulary for to talk about holidays. What do we have here? We have a Sea restaurant, ski resort, water park, mountain trail, a beach. So what we're gonna do? So we're going to listen to the audio, and then we're going to just do listening number activities. We can already mark the destination, vacation destination. So, but we're gonna listen to, and then we're going in order to carry out the activity number 2. Go ahead.
Track 26.
The world is full of amazing destinations where you can relax and explore at the same time. If you go abroad, first you need to get a passport. It's a form of identification that says who you are and what country you're from. And you'll need to book a flight. Most people do it online. You can make a hotel reservation online too. Choose carefully. You want to stay in a hotel that is safe and comfortable, but not too expensive. Hire a guide. The knowledge of a local guide is worth your money. On the day before the trip, pack a suitcase with the clothing you will need. Check the weather forecast. And don't take too much stuff. When you arrive at your destination, exchange money. Make sure you do it in a formal exchange office and not in the street. Finally, if you can, catch a train to get from one place to another. Riding a train is one of the greatest pleasures of traveling.
Okay, the following audio you can listen to is referring to some of the most important activities that you do when you're going on any destination, vacation destination. So what we're gonna do, according to this audio, which is describe the different activities we do when we go to a vacation destination. So we're going to number, as you can see here in my presentation, I already write down the order. So the first one is get a passport. Is the first thing you need to do before going to a vacation destination. The first thing you can do is get a passport. The second one, you have to book a flight. Comprar un vuelo, pactar un vuelo, book a flight. And the number 3, stay in a hotel. And the number 4, hire a guide. Number 5 is pack a suitcase. Number 6 is change money. And the number 7 is catch a train. That is basically activities that we usually do when we're going up, when we're going on holidays, when we're going on vacation destinations. So we need to keep those activities in mind. What we're gonna do, this is the page. So as I said before, so we are doing the activity on page 84. Now we're going to do the next activity. Sorry, so we're going to do the next activity. The next activity is this one, and we're going to number 3. That basically we're going to read the description and write the travel activity. And so the first one, as you can see here, we have the number 1. I went to a government office. I took some papers and 2 small photos. They gave me a small book with my personal information in it. So what is this about? According to the vocabulary, you can see is get a passport. Okay, because you need a small photos, and they give you a small book. The small book is the passport. The second one, we use a computer to look at different schedules and prices. We use a credit card to pay, the same as email with our itinerary. That is itinerario. Itinerary is book a flight, comprar, apartar el vuelo. 2 to 3 days before my trip started, collecting clothing and items in a large rectangular bag. I hope I didn't forget anything. Pack suitcase. Empacar la maleta. And the number 4, we had a money in dollars, but we were visiting friends. We went to a place at the airport, gave them dollars, and euros back, exchange money, intercambiar dinero. And the number 5, we look for a name of person who knew a lot about the places we wanted to visit, all the special restaurants, attraction, and the history. That is hire a guide. O sea, como alquilar un guía, contratar un guía. I went to a large building near the beach. It had a beautiful swimming pool. I took my things to a room with a bed and TV. I stayed there for 4 days. That is, stay in a hotel. And then number 7, within France, we move in a form of transportation that is lower than a plane, but you can see the landscape. That is catch a train. As you can see here, there's the vocabulary about vacation, vacation destination. That is basically the title of the unit. That is, what do you need to travel? What do you need to travel? You need a get passport. You need exchange money. You need pack a suitcase. You need hire a guy. Stay at a hotel. That is basically the idea of this unit, and this is the vocabulary that we need to keep that in mind. So, okay, this is the end of the activity from page 84. Now we're going to move on to the next page. That is the page 85. I'm going to ask you please underline the main ideas from the test. Por favor, subrayar, importante, el texto, como aparece en pantalla. So we're about to read out day 4, Coyote Buttes, Utah. So I'm going to read out, and please underline, don't forget to underline the text. Okay, and today I hike out to see the wave of Coyote Buttes. It's a beautiful rock formation in Utah. I got up 5:30 to get ready. I packed plenty of water to drink. You get thirsty quick in the desert. And a few steps for them. When I get hungry, I put on comfortable clothes and hiking shoes. I wanted to get started before it got hot out, so I left the camp at 7. It took me 6 hours to get there because my GPS stopped working and I got lost. Fortunately, I found some other hikers who knew the way. Here's a photo of me booking the site. It was amazing. Okay, so this is a story from a hiker man, sorry, who was doing this hiking activity in Coyote Buttes, Utah, and he's telling us about the story. So what we're gonna do just to match the reading match, and then don't forget to underline the test. No olviden subrayar el texto. The number 1, the way is a reformation in Utah. The number 2, the hiker. This is the guy who loves hiking mountains. He hiked woke up very early in the morning to prepare. He packed water and snack. The trip took 6 hours because he got lost in the desert, and some other hikers helped him find the destination because there was a problem with his GPS and stopped working. That's the reason why he got lost. But fortunately, he found some others hikers who helped them to find the way to go find way. And also, he took a photo of this adventure and say it was amazing. Okay, this is the activity 85. And as you can see, I already underlined the most important ideas from the text. And then we're going to move on to the next activity, the number 5. And this activity we have some of the glossary of reservation, itinerary, a travel schedule, GPS, a device that identifies your exact location. And then we have here, this is the glossary from the previous test. And then we have the 8 sentences, and we have some collocation. And what we're gonna do is to write out and to see which is the meaning of each one of them. Remember that these sentences, we learn this collocation from this test. And the first one we have get hot out, become hot, o sea, estar más caliente, get hungry, to want to eat food, estar hambriado, get lost, perderse, get lost, to know where you are, get ready, estar listo, to prepare something, get started, empezar estar listo, empezar, get there, llegar allá, get thirsty, want to drink water, and get up, wake up. So that is the collocation and we can learn the use of the get with some of the verbs. Okay? But in this activity number 6, we are not going to carry out the number 6. We're not going to write down any sentence because we don't have much time. And this is the end of the page 85. And then we're going to move on page 86. And this number is again another text about activities or holidays. And start about Portugal. Have you ever studied living in another country? Have you ever made friends all over the world? The Jefferson International School has given this opportunity to thousands of students located in the historic city of Lisbon. Portugal is offers a year abroad for high school students 16 and 15 years old. Basically, this is a study abroad, estudiar afuera del extranjero, and then we were to see some of the programs includes the opportunity to learn Portuguese, run a board with Portuguese host families, personal to the support of variety of competitive sports programs, sailing, surfing, tennis, soccer, swimming, and basketball. Trip to cultural landmark in Portugal, Spain. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna read and number the photos. And the first one, number 2, is run a board with a Portuguese host family. Está como alquilar un cuarto, compartir con la familia de Portugal. And then number 5, we have Cristo Cultural Landmark in Portugal, Spain. Landmarks son como los paisajes. And then number 4, a variety of comparative sports, run, sailing, surfing, tennis, soccer, swimming, and basketball. This is the activities. Okay, so basically this is the first part of this test. And now we're going to move on to the next activity, which is the number 2 about email. And we're going to complete the information that is shown here. And we have the email. I'm interested in the Start Abroad program at Jefferson International School. I'm Italian, I'm 16 years old. At the moment, I'm studying the Liceo Garibaldi Milan. I have been to Portugal before, but I haven't taken Portuguese lessons for a year. I have heard a lot of good things about studying abroad. My cousin did a Start Abroad program recently and she has a wonderful experience. Can you please send me an application for the program? Sincerely, Francisca Rosie. What you're gonna do, as is shown here, you're going to complete this information according to what is shown in this presentation. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, we're going to move on to activity is now 87. And what we're going to do, we're going to write a past participle of the words, use the ed in the email on page 86. So in this part, we have the present perfect, the already in yet. We use already with the present perfect for the event has a period. He has already made some friends. You yet with questions and negative forms. Already significa ya. Y have you seen anything yet? Ya lo utilizamos para preguntas y cuando es negativo. ¿Listo? Eso lo vamos a ver con más tiempo la próxima semana. Vamos a hacer es compartir acá, escribir el pasado participe de cada uno de los verbos. Study, studied, lived, made, given, been, taking, her, had, I have been, and then we're going to complete the sentence using the present perfect. I have been to Northern Denmark. She has heard about a program in Chile. He has lived with a house family before. The school has given scholarship to 15 international students. Acá tenemos el uso del presente perfecto. Tenemos el have o el has más el participio pasado. Es algo que vamos a ver la próxima semana con más calma, pero vamos a empezar haciendo las actividades. ¿Vale? Este sería el ejercicio de la página 87. And then we're going to move on to the next activity, which is a listening, and we're going to mark the correct option. As you can see, I already have the answer, so we're going to listen to this audio that we're going to, according to the international school called Jefferson. Okay.
Track 27.
Hello, Joe. It's Jason, your favorite cousin. Happy birthday. Thanks, Jason. It's nice to hear from you.
I can't believe you're 17. Are you having a good birthday?
Yes, my host family made me a cake and gave me a sweater.
How's it going in Portugal? Have you learned Portuguese yet?
Yes, I have. I've already learned a few expressions.
How are things at school?
Not bad. I study a lot, but I'm getting good grades.
And have you made any friends yet?
A few. There's Fabio, he's Italian, and Sylvie, a French girl.
And what about Lisbon? Have you seen anything interesting yet?
No, I haven't, but next week we're going to St. George's Castle.
What's the most interesting thing you've done so far?
I've already tried some unusual foods. I've had all kinds of traditional dishes.
It sounds like you're having a great time then.
Yes, but I miss home. Say hi to everyone for me.
I will.
Okay, so this is the audio between two friends, and one of them is taking classes in international school called Jefferson, and then we have the Joe's cousin, and this is the first answer. And how's Joe? 17. Has Joe learned some Portuguese? No, he hasn't. Has seen his university interesting yet? No, he hasn't. And what he done? Try some unusual food. That is the audio. So we're going to just to underline the correct answer. So now, and this is we're going to listen again in confusion radio yet. So have you learned Portuguese yet? ¿Has aprendido todavía portugués? I have already learned a few expressions. He aprendido algunas. Ya he aprendido algunas. Have you made any friends yet? ¿Has hecho algunos amigos todavía? Have you seen anything interesting yet? ¿Has visto ahorita algo interesante? ¿Todavía algo interesante? I have already tried some unusual food. Ya he probado alguna comida inusual. Esto también lo voy a explicar la próxima semana. Lo que vamos a hacer es completarlo, el ejercicio, de esta manera. Okay, now I want you to open your book and the page 88. And 88, we're going to look and mark the correct action. So the article probably lists is a destination and train around the world. And the second one is the information is probably organized in a chronological order. Why? Because this is a destination, a trip around the world. You can see that from the map. And the information is probably organized in a chronological order. As you can see there, it's organized in that way. So now we're going to read this information, starting complete information on the above. And we please underline main ideas from the test. Por favor, vamos a subrayar las ideas más importantes de esta aventura sobre Jules Verne, una novela muy popular de los 80. Entonces, voy a leer a Jules Verne, popular now around the world in 18 days. The main character, Phileas Fogg, make a bet, y hacer una apuesta, that he can travel around the world in 80 days. Because the story takes place in 19th century, Phileas Fogg can only travel using transportation from the time periods of boat and trade. But nobody you can travel around the world in a few days. 80 days was once impressive accomplishment. Phileas Fogg's fiction adventure had captured readers' imagination for almost 150 years, but this story doesn't end there. Michael Palin is a famous world traveler. He does travel programs for the BBC. His first novel, also called Around the World in 80 Days, was based on Jules Verne's novel. Michael Palin traveled around the world in 80 days using facts wrote in 19th century forms of transportation. Michael Jordan started in London on a train bound for Italy. By day 2, he was in Venice. From there, he traveled by boat to Athens, and from Athens crossed the Mediterranean Sea. He reached Alexandria, Egypt, on day 7. In Egypt, he traveled by train and camel and boarded on a boat going to India. He arrived in Mumbai on day 25. From there, he took a train and arrived in Madras on day 29. He crossed the Indian Ocean by boat, arriving in Singapore on day 85. Shanghai, China, day 46, and Yokohama, Japan, day 15. From there, he crossed the Pacific Ocean to Los Angeles. Right, day 74, he traveled across the United States to get to New York. Day 70, finally, he sailed across the Atlantic Ocean to reach his final destination, London, on day 79. He traveled more than 45 kilometers. Okay, this is the story of a Jules Verne, a popular novel. And please write down the most important ideas from the text. So now the next page is 89. So we're going to write 2 or 3 to indicate the correct paragraph. As you can see here, I already did it. The paragraph is a description of Michael's 5 trips. So we can see that in paragraph number 3, 1, 2, 3 is a description. And then we have a paragraph piece of background information of Michael Palin. So this is the paragraph number 2. And we have the paragraph gives information in chronological order. So again, we have the paragraph number 3. This is the number 3, as you can see here. And so this paragraph introduces to the book Around the World in 80 days. Of course, this is the number 1. You can see the numbers from the paragraph. You can see the paragraph here. And so in order to answer the questions, okay? And the next one is the reading cycle, true or false. Phileas Fogg lived 150 years old, false. Jules Verne ran around the world in 80 days, true. Michael followed the same route as Phileas Fogg, true. He used a motor form of transportation, false. He traveled from Greece to Italy, true. It took 64 days to reach Japan, false. And Michael's journeys took less than 80 days. So you can see here, I already have the answers. Como se pueden dar cuenta, ya tengo ahí las respuestas para que ustedes vayan adelantando el libro y pues luego podamos hacer otros ejercicios relacionados con el presente perfecto que nos sugiere el libro. Okay. Now I wanted to listen to the following audio. Okay, so you're going to take a picture you're going to look at this following picture and you're going to number the correct answer. Okay, go ahead. We're going to listen to, as you can see here, something about virtual reality, something like that. And we're going to underline the correct answer. Okay, go ahead.
Track 28.
Today, tech specialist Priya Advani of Technology Today is going to talk about virtual travel. Priya, welcome.
Thank you, Max.
What exactly is virtual travel?
Well, this is when you can experience a destination without physically being there.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. One way is with a special headset. You see an image through the headset, but if you turn your head, the image moves. It tricks your brain into believing you are at that place. And the headphones have a 360-degree sound profile of that location too.
That sounds really interesting. What kind of places can you see?
Well, there are a lot of options. Some governments make virtual tours of famous landmarks in their country to promote tourism. Imagine visiting Chichen Itza or the Eiffel Tower from your own living room. And people also create virtual simulations for training purposes. For example, you could practice skydiving without getting into an airplane. They are even making 360-degree recordings of sports events so that people can relive the action through virtual reality.
But can you buy one of these devices? They must be very expensive.
Yes and no. You can turn your phone into a virtual reality device with a simple cardboard headset and regular headphones.
That is amazing. Do you recommend any websites where people can look?
Okay, so you can see here it is about virtual reality. And as you can see here, already organized the pictures and listening over the pictures. This is number 1, 2 guys using this headset, yes, in order to see this virtual reality, the number 2, the number 3, the number 5, and the number 4. So basically what you're going to do is just to number the pictures as is shown in my presentation. And then we're going to listen and cycle the correct action. And do we have here the answer? So what is exactly virtual reality? Basically, that is the main topic of the audio. If you turn your head, the image move. So, if you turn your headset, the image moves. Some government make simulations to virtual tours of famous landmark. You can buy one of these devices, but you can buy one of these devices. You can turn your phone into a virtual reality device. And what we're going to do this audio, you're going to write down the keywords. Por favor, escribir las palabras claves del listening, que es virtual, travel, special health, promote tourism, virtual simulation and virtual reality. Lo van a escribir ahí. Aquí tenemos cardboard. Este es el cardboard, el vocabulario para que lo veamos. Simulación y headset, device you wear in your head. Este es headset. ¿Listo? Bueno, chicos, ese sería el final de este ejercicio. Ustedes tienen un espacio, los chicos que están virtuales, para hacerlos. Este ejercicio lo hago así con ustedes por cuestiones de tiempo, pero luego pues explicaremos con mayor detalle el vocabulario, el ejercicio del presente perfecto, que es el tema básico de esta unidad. ¿Listo? Entonces no sería más. Ese sería el ejercicio de la sesión guiada por hoy. No siendo más, pues nos veríamos ya en nuestra clase la próxima semana de una actividad por competencias donde explicaríamos este tema con más detalles. Gracias por su atención y recuerden entregar las páginas en el horario y la fecha, fecha establecida para ganarse los puntos positivos. Bye bye.